How's everyone doing, guys? Hope you're right. It's Cody back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys. People keep asking me, right, to do videos on like my plans for the future, right. I don't know why you guys are interested, but I'm gonna address it, right. So obviously, I've been out of prison like two and a bit months now. The idea is not to go back to prison, obviously. You can never say never. Crimes. Like, for me, if someone offered me big money to go back into crime for its risk versus reward, right, I could very easily go back into that. What I'd love to do, though, personally, is I'd love to work in the media as like a radio presenter or a journalist or something like that, but not as a dickhead one, right? As a common person, right, from the streets, yeah. Like LBC Radio, for example, right? A lot of their presenters, they've got slots and they speak about certain things, right? I'd love to do one on crime, on the same thing. I think it'd be a good watch. Listen, sorry. I think people would take to it quite well. The more I do these videos, I think the better I'm becoming at speaking and stuff publicly and stuff. Like I say, a lot of people, right, from a young age, my mum thought I had ADHD, right? I was talking about someone with this last night on DM on my Twitter, right? A lot of people think I've got ADHD because if you listen to when I do my vlogs, right, don't listen for it all the time, make me paranoid, but I'll start speaking about something and then I'll off spin because my attention's drawn to something else. I'll jump to another conversation. I'll start a new topic, right? And then I'll jump back to, and then halfway through the story, I'll jump back to the first story. And I think people think that that's down to ADHD and stuff. I've had people trying to label me for years. That the doctors reckon I've got PTSD through my life and stuff, like from my childhood and other experiences I've had while I've like lived my life. They reckon I've got anxiety. I do think I suffer anxiety and stuff. Anxiety is like nerves and stuff like that. Sometimes when I do my interviews and stuff for the media, I can start off really fast. And then when I feel comfortable, I slow down and I speak like I'm speaking to you guys now. And then, like I say, other people, I've suffered depression. I've lived a hell of a life. Like, I don't think I've had it any worse than anyone else. I don't want sympathy or anything. It's just like, my life has been so fucking. If I were to tell you guys about my life, right, honestly, it'd blow a lot of you's mind. Just like if you told me about your life, it'd probably blow my mind. You know what I mean? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Like I say, what I've said on Twitter is, how can you know you're at the top of the mountain if you've never been at the bottom looking up? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and I used to be so negative and stuff. I'm very insecure. I'm an insecure person. I'm very insecure. I believe everyone's got insecurities. Like, people walk down the street and they're thinking, oh God, they're self-conscious. I'm self-conscious. I put on weight. Like I said, I'm 6'4", about 20 stone, 22 stone or something. I carry it well, but I've still got a belly on me, right? That makes me insecure, right? As a result of my insecurities and stuff, I push girls away, like relationships, female attention, I push away. I don't know how to take it, so I push it away. I haven't had sex in over a year and a few months because of it. That's me being honest, guys. I'm bearing my soul again with my videos. I don't have there's no filter up here. It just comes out. The first time you hear it is the first time I hear it, sort of thing. Yeah, it's just one of them things. But yeah, like I say, I don't feel worthwhile and stuff like that. But now, through my experience of prison and stuff, my aim really is to spread the word about prisons, about what's happening within prisons and stuff like that. And like I say, I'd love to work with the Ministry of Justice. It'll never happen, guys. This is a pipe dream. But I'd love to work with the Ministry of Justice on prison issues, prison reforms, and better conditions for prisoners. That's the aim, right? Like, I think prisoners should have incoming calls. Like, if you put a landline in prison, right, you can have a phone that's like every cell in prison that I've come across has had a socket to put your phone in, right? Now, each phone should generate an extension number and prisoners' families should be able to ring them, right? That way, it saves the prisoner money, and because like at home people have free weekend and evening calls and stuff, that's something I'd love to roll out. I think that people should have Skype as well, because obviously not everyone that's in prison from in an area is from that area. So I think that Skype would be a good thing of keeping in contact with the family. Conjugal visits as well. Conjugal visits is sex in prison. Not man to man, guys, you'll be happy to hear, but like conjugal visits. I was locked up with a kid from Bermondsey in London, and he was in prison previously in Holland, and they have conjugal visits and stuff where your partner could stay over for the weekend and stuff. If that was here in the UK, I think it'd release a lot of tension, because obviously guys are full of testosterone and stuff. Having sex and stuff, relieving themselves, it would be a big help and stuff. But it'll never happen. But again, guys, you can live and hope, right? My aim, what I'd love to do is work in the media, talking about prison system, crime, policing levels, but not because what these journalists do, that they always, the pro-police, the pro-establishment, the pro-prison, right? But yet they've never been in prison. So how can they talk about things they've got no experience of? I've got experience of it. A lot of other people have got experience of it. We should be the people that speak about it in the public domain, right? And that's what I'd love to do. Like I say, I'm not currently working. I'd love if someone sees this and wants to give me a job, then I'd be very grateful. I'm not a scumbag. Like I say, I've been in prison. I've learned a lot in my life. I'm self-taught. Like I say, I wasn't academic in school and stuff, but I'm very switched on. I'm extremely switched on. I'm very shrewd, and I know what's what. I've done interviews with the media and stuff, so I know like how interviews work and stuff, and being mic'd up and like doing bits to camera and stuff. I'm quite good at that. But I'm not academic, and I'm not from the middle or upper classes. A lot of these people that work in the media are middle and upper classes, right? I'm from the fucking ghetto. I'm from the gutter, right? And like I say, I waffle on as well. Like I say, a lot of people think I've got ADHD, right? My doctors have touched base with it. My mum thinks I've got it. My mum thinks I've always had it. Like I think it's attention hyper deficit disorder or something along them lines. And what it is where you've got a short attention span and you misbehave and stuff like that. I don't know too much about it, so I'm not going to reel it off. But in layman's terms, it means that you've got a short attention span. Now, I definitely have a short attention span. Whether I've got ADHD or not, a different matter and stuff. I've never been properly processed. Every time I see a different doctor, they stick different labels on me. I talk openly and stuff. And yeah, like I say, like I probably have suffered with mental health problems in my life and stuff. I'm not a psychopath. I'm not a lunatic or anything. It's just I've suffered depression. Yeah, I probably have. Right. I deal with it in my own way though. It doesn't get me down. It makes me more like more. I want to fight it more, and I want to come out on top and things like that. But yeah, I've probably suffered depression. I believe I suffer anxiety and stuff. Attention, like short attention span, ADHD sort of stuff. Possibly. Like I say, sometimes like I've done interviews in the past, right? Years ago, I'd done interviews. I was on BBC Worldwide Service, right, which is like a world stage, right? Like 90 million people watch the program, right, across the world. It's crazy. And the guy was asking me questions, and I wasn't listening to the question. I just drifted off on my own. It was around about what he was talking about, but it wasn't direct. As I've done interviews, as I've got older and stuff, and as I've done more interviews with the media, I've become a lot more articulate, a lot more switched on, and I listen to the questions more, and I try to respond on the question matter. And like I say, I'm not a public speaker or anything like that. I just sit here in my gaff, talking to the camera like I'm talking to you guys. And like I say, I get a lot of feedback from it. Just because I wasn't academic in school and I've lived a shit life doesn't mean that I can't help people and stuff like that. The best people I think to speak to about subjects are the people that have experienced them. For all the academic qualifications people gain in university, in college and all this stuff, right, having initials after the name and all this stuff, right, and getting like 2.1s in the fucking, like, example, my sister, right, I've got two sisters. One's bipolar, right? She's got a drink problem and she takes drugs, right? My other sister, check this out, guys, right, is a psychology graduate. She got a 2-1 and she actually works in psychology. She's a psychologist, right? And then you've got me, who was involved in the criminal underworld with gangsters and to many people and the police. I was a minder in the criminal underworld and all this sort of stuff. Been to prison and now do these vlogs and stuff. 3 kids from the same fucking mother, right? Completely opposite, polar opposites, all 3 of us. So yeah, it's just crazy, guys. But like I say, for all the qualifications someone can gain, I've got the best qualification, guys, in my opinion, and that's life experience, right? Like I say, I don't speak I don't sit there and yes, some big words and all that stuff. I just speak from my heart, from my head, from my experiences. And for some reason, you guys seem to take to me, and I love that. Like I say, I don't get paid for these videos. I just reel them off and stuff, and you guys seem to be interested in me as a person, as opposed. So at first, right, people were interested about the subject matters, right, the police, the crime, the prison advice, all that sort of stuff, and then people saying, right, what about you? What about you? What makes you tick? What about you in the future? Where do you want to go? How far do you want to take things? Like I say, I've got ambitions and goals. Like years ago, yeah, when I was working in the security industry, I wanted to be a minder. Sorry, not a minder. I wanted to do close protection, right, full time, yeah. But like I wanted to do the Ronin course out in South Africa, which was $6,500, right? But obviously through my convictions and stuff, I'm not able to work in security. So then when that happens, you've got to like amend and go again. You've got to choose another path. Now, before I went to prison last year, I was in and around with ITV, right? I was with one of the assistant producers from the Kyle Files, and they wanted to work with me on a program and stuff going forward as a contributor. Then I get out of prison, and then people from Channel 5 contact me and say, oh, we're doing a program on crime and all this sort of stuff. We want you to be involved, right? Since I got out of prison, I've done interviews with Granada Reports. LBC Radio contacted me and stuff. I didn't contact them. They actually contacted me, which is pretty cool. Now, like I say, I don't just want to be used by the media, though. I'd rather be paid for it. Look at these media outlets, right? They're earning big money, right? Now, I think I give good quality content. If someone asks me a question on a subject, I think I articulate it quite well. Now, they're earning money, they're getting paid, everyone on the program's getting paid, all the producers that are contacting me, the researchers, everyone's getting paid, and I'm getting full call. So the media are using me as like a patsy to get their point across on the issue. Now, I want to be paid for it, and I want to do it full time. I'd love to work in the media and stuff. Like I say, I wouldn't turn into one of these like fucking PC twats that's all like, oh, I can't say this and I can't say that. Obviously, I wouldn't swear when I do my interviews and stuff. But I think if you've got the middle classes and you've got the upper classes, right, and then you've got working class people, right. Now, I think I'd do well speaking about crime, policing levels, all that, but from a criminal's perspective, right? Speaking about prisons, right? They speak to people, when they speak about prisons, they speak to criminologists. It's like, what the fuck, right? Speak to people that have got experience of the matter that you're talking about. So yeah, like I say, I'd love to do that. I'd love to, relationships-wise, I'd love to find someone and settle down. I moved to London a few years ago with my brother, who lives down there. I found him after 27 years. I didn't enjoy it down there. Southerners are different to Northerners, and I came back to Manchester. But I'd love to I think I'll always live in Manchester. But I would love to find a relationship, settle down with someone, and all that sort of stuff. Of course, I'd love kids and everything else. I'm not really don't really like kids, but I'd love to have kids one day, I suppose. And I like doing these vlogs and stuff. Me doing these vlogs, guys, honestly, it's therapeutic. It helps me, like my wounds and stuff, and the things I've experienced and stuff. It helps me. I started off right as a criminal, and then I started off as a kid, and then I've become a criminal and gangs and gangsters and gangster documentaries and all this stuff. And now I've come out of crime and I'm doing these vlogs. I've actually come full circle. And I love that, guys. Like I say, I've got some my experience. If I spoke honestly about some of the things I've been arrested for, some of the crazy shit I've been involved in, and everything else. I've been in prison for a very long time. I've had just a fucking bonkers life, just like everyone. But now I want to use my experiences to help other people, but I want to be paid for my time and stuff, and that's why I want to do it. So like I say, I'd love to work in the media and stuff and help people and do that sort of stuff and everything, and have a relationship, settle down and everything else, because like I say, I've been a bit of a jack of Aladdin in my life and stuff. But yeah, I just want to be happy, guys. That's the aim of the game. Yeah, like, you'll have to let me know, guys, what you think about the video, about how you've changed your lives and stuff, and what you want to do with yourselves and stuff. Right, guys, I'm going to leave it here as always, right? Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, guys, and speak to you all soon. Bye.